there. Hello, hello. I am so grateful you are watching this video. So grateful. Oh man, and so thankful because I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you about a very interesting topic. I want to talk to you about who you really are. It is through my own journey that is a continuous journey, an everlasting journey of discovering myself that I am going to take this leap of courage to talk to you about who you really are. So stay with me. This is going to be a great journey. So I know you can see below on the website that I graduated from the SUNY College at Old Westbury. That's the State University of New York College at Old Westbury. And even though that was my last college, that certainly wasn't my first college. I bounced around a lot. So you can imagine my excitement to finally get to this place that felt like home. It felt like, yes, this is the place I want to be. Felt great. And I can play my 2 years left of college eligibility. So I was super excited, super grateful. It was the spring of April 2007. And before I was able to enroll, I was diagnosed with MS. And that process was really, it was a real trying time for me. Really trying time, really difficult time. Because as I told you, I was super excited to get ready to go to Old Westbury, and now I'm blind in my left eye. Or now I have muscle atrophy. Or now I have a lesion on my brain. I had to do spinal taps and all sorts of things. So you can imagine my stress level. Because ultimately, the first question, the number one question, first question I asked the doctor is, well, can I still play? Because ultimately that was part of my vision. That is a part of how I identified. I identified as a basketball player. So I asked, that was my first question. Not, am I going to be healthy? Not, am I going to be sick? And I asked, can I still play? It was an externally based question, but it was still a question. And the doctor and the neurologist, they both looked and said, well, yeah, if you're feeling well, if you're feeling up to it, if you're feeling like you can. And I knew how demanding college basketball, college sport on any level is super demanding. So ultimately, I was still grateful for them to answer that question with a affirmation. So it was really a tough time for me. But as I continued to ask questions, the questions got a little deeper, and this was a good thing. So I started to ask, okay, well, how do I live? And I didn't ask anyone in particular that question. It was just a general question that I felt like I had to figure out, how do I live and still do the things that I want to do, even with this diagnosis? How do I live? Then the questions got deeper. And the deeper it got, the more I felt. Because the deeper the questions got, the more I was feeling the anxiety and the stress. And I was asking that eternal source of light, that ESL, like, why me? There was much more anger and confusion, and underneath that was a level of despair that is hard for me to even articulate at this moment, but that is what I felt in that moment. I was like, why me? Why me? And eventually, a shift happened to where instead of asking, why me? With that desperation and feelings of hopelessness, instead of asking it that way, I started to go within and ask, well, why me? What is it about my body and my mind that allowed this to manifest? It wasn't about self-blaming, though. It was seeking to understand. Because asking all of these questions externally were just leading me to more external places. And I wanted to not only know about how to manage symptoms, I wanted to get to the root. I wanted to put my body back into ease and leave dis-ease. So I asked, why me? And when I asked that question internally, that is the process to where I started to discover myself. And I started to discover who I really am, because I realized that nothing external, nothing out there could be done without doing something in here. And as I went deeper, and the deeper I went, I started to realize, as above, so below. That ESL, that eternal source of light, is the same light I found within me. And that is what I'm here to share with you about who you really are. You are more than your circumstance. You are more than your environment. You're more than your comfort zones. You're more than what people have told you. You're more than what you have been taught. You are light. You are a part of that eternal source of light. Because as above, so below. And it is because of that light that your potential is infinite. You are a light on this earth, being expressed biologically and experiencing this human condition. And you are light. You are ultimately light. And that is what I'm here to share with you. And that is how I was able to heal and move my body from dis-ease to ease. I am only one who is able to share my experience. And I wanted to share that with you because I know that the light that is within me is the same light that is within you. And so, go within, and you'll discover who you really are. Namaste.